Got it. Oh, now
It's saying setting up for your live stream.
it's coming on. Okay. On live. Ma'am, it's on the air.
A very good morning to all of you present here this morning. We will begin our Pathfinder's Career Guidance Program in just about a minute. Thank you so much for joining us. All right. So, like we said, and like we had told you all earlier, we are going to be starting this career guidance program, a 1-hour session on a very specific topic. The specific topic being, what are the careers that you can choose after your degree, or what kind of degree programs you have to choose if you have to go and achieve in a particular stream. We're going to be focusing on categories or jobs that are not engineering, that are not medical, that are not all these all these fads that are doing the rounds in your academic cycles. We have always seen people say that if it's an engineering degree, engineering is the base for everything. Or if you're a science student, biology is the base for everything. You have to take up biology, you have to take up science. And somehow the humanities are not given the kind of attention or interest that they should be given. So what we are trying to do today is we are trying to see if we can tell you how great the humanities are and what wonderful demand we have for careers associated with the humanities. Now, when I say humanities, what do I mean? Humanities is an area of study that focuses on non-scientific subjects, that is not technical subjects as such. Of course, we have techniques involved in humanities, we have scientific processes involved in humanities as well, but these are not subjects that are like your medical or your engineering subjects, which are vocational by nature. The vocations that you would be following if you're an art student or a humanities student is very different from the vocations that you would be following if you're taking up other streams. So today in my session, what I will try and do is I will try and see if I can inspire you all to take up these subjects that are specific and so critical to our world to be in harmony. Now imagine if the entire world is filled with engineers and doctors, right? Who's going to be taking care of the news? Who's going to be taking care of your mental health? Who's going to be taking care of politics? Who's going to become a civil servant and take care of all the developmental activities? Who's going to take care of the banking sector? Who's going to take care of the development sector? Who's going to take care about various aspects of human resources, right? So the humanities play a major role in keeping our society in balance. So today we will be focusing on why this balance is so critical to us. Shall we proceed? Now that we have a few people joining us in, we'll proceed to today's program. I would request you all to do a little bit of activity in between. Whatever I ask you all to do, it will be great if you all can respond immediately so that we have the results on screen and we can also discuss based on your responses. Let this not be a one-way thing. Let there be two-way interaction, and let's be able to do this session in a more meaningful fashion. All right. We'll begin in just a moment. Okay, so here we go. A big welcome to all of you to Pathfinder, the career guidance program that is exclusively organized for you free of cost by St. Paul's College. We're very happy to be presenting this program to you because this program is one that is very close to our hearts. We have designed it in a manner that will allow you to understand careers in a brighter, better perspective. All right. So here goes. This is one of my favorite quotes from all time. There's a great writer called Sylvia Plath, one of the leading feminists of the second wave feminism. She talks about how the worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt. A lot of you students, what happens to you is when you're forced to make career decisions, you all think that engineering and medical are the safest bets, that you will get a job no matter what if you do an engineering, if you have an engineering degree. But the downside to it is that today in India, you'll be surprised with the statistics. Research proves that about 48% of engineers, remember the number is very large, 48% of the engineers, almost half the engineers who graduate do not land up with engineering jobs, which means what they do and what they have learned are very different from each other, right? So there is an excess supply of engineers in our country, but very limited demand, right? What do I mean by very limited demand? By very limited demand, I mean that your courses such as civil engineering or mechanical engineering have limited applications in an industry that is highly becoming IT oriented. That doesn't mean IT oriented engineers are in great demand either, right? Imagine you have in a market, you go in and you are 1 crore people in that particular city, and your market has a supply of sugar and salt for about 14 crore people, right? So imagine what will happen to the remaining 13 crore tons or 13 crore units of sugar and salt that are available in the market. They will have no takers, isn't it? Right? Similarly, if everyone wants to do only engineering and medicine, there are very few takers for other. There will be very few takers for you when it comes to jobs, which is why today taking up commerce-oriented or arts-oriented subjects is becoming such a big deal, right? And there are so many opportunities that have opened up in the market today for people who are taking up humanities. Let's take a look at these pictures, right? I don't know if you all are able to recognize most of them. These are great celebrities in their own right, right? We have your favorite star from BTS. We have cinema stars. We have Jack Ma, who's a great inspiration to young people around the world. Can you all tell me, whoever is watching, can you all tell me what is the commonality or what is common between all these people? I'll give you a moment to think about it, okay? What is common between all these people? You're right. Yes, there are some people who want to respond, some people who want to say things, right? Okay. Very good. Okay. Let's think aloud. What is common between these people? You're right. All of them are graduates from humanities, right? All of them are graduates from humanities. Your BTS star here has a major in English literature. You have Deepika Padukone, who's a major in sociology. You have Jack Ma, who's a major in literature and psychology as well. You have Rashmika Mandana, who is, again, a major in English literature. Emma Watson, literature as well. Amitabh Bachchan, he has a degree in humanities. He has a BA and an MA, right? So these celebrities in their own right have also chosen the humanities path, right? They have gone the humanities path and they have been very successful in their respective fields. Now you may ask me, ma'am, what is the difference? I mean, how have they really utilized their education in their field? Of course, yes. If you look at your pop stars, these are people who are using the language that they learned in their degree to write their songs. If you see people like film stars who are there in this section of people, they have all utilized their theatrical skills or their visual art skills that they have learned from their degrees, right? So all of us have to remember that it is not just everyday people that we see. It's not just the teachers we see in school. There are multiple employment opportunities available for students who have taken up arts as their subject. Now, I understand that a lot of you have this feeling that, ma'am, it's not the same when people take up science and when people take up arts. It is not the same. People treat us differently. People don't give us the same respect, so on and so forth. I'm an arts graduate myself, okay? And I feel very proud in saying this. I have a lot of people in my friend circle who have done engineering, who've done medicine. They're great at their jobs and we really need their services for the country. But not many of them are able to make a mark in the field of inspiration or the field of social work. But thankfully, I, with a humanities degree, I'm able to do multiple things. I'm Saranya Francis. I'm an author. I have published 3 books. My poems are read across the world. There are institutions in France that are reading poetry that are written by me. There are people in my college, my students, who are every day, making associations with language tips that I'm giving them. There are multiple people who have taken up arts as their course and have made a very big difference and it has made a very big difference to people across the world. So my appeal to you is this: give humanities a chance, right? If you look at why humanities and how humanities has inspired the world over, you wouldn't be surprised and you wouldn't be so hesitant for taking up arts as a subject. Now, this is what I want you to do. I want all of you to scan this QR code that's there on the screen. I hope all of you can see the QR code. Yes? Okay. So in case you're not able to find the QR code on the screen, please put it up in the comment section. We will have our team to share the link with you as well. Okay. Let's take a moment and take a quick test. Okay. I want you to go to this QR code and answer that quick test. I'll give you about a minute to do this. Okay. It will take you to a website called truity.com and you will be doing a test called as the Holland Code Career Test. Okay. It's a very simple test. This is not like your tests where you mark 1 and 2 and pass and fail in your exams. This is an aptitude test. This is trying to check where your interest levels are or what your interest levels in careers are, right? So can I request all of you to quickly go to the website, scan this QR code and take this quick test. We'll give you about a minute to do this. Okay. I hope all of you have been able to scan the QR code. You'll be asked questions like, do you like to repair a dishwasher or analyze the structure of molecules? These are questions that are asked. You have to mark them as like and dislike. Okay. So if you mark them the first, it is dislike, completely dislike. If you mark in the center, you're not sure. If you mark the last, you like the activity. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I see a lot of people on the website trying to take the test. Very nice. Okay, there are 5 steps to this test. I want you to take step after step and enter your responses. Okay. You have to answer all questions so that you can move from step 1 to step 2. Okay. Once you're done with step 1, please move to step 2. Okay, I hope all of you are able to go to step 2 as well. Again, please answer all the questions in step 2. Once you're done with step 2, again, click to the next step. It will take you to step 3 or third page. Okay. Once you're done with step 3, move to step 4. Okay, and then finally, step 5. Okay, step 5 has questions like take apart an engine and inspect a roof for leaks. Mention your likes and dislikes very quickly. Okay. Once you're done, you will go to page 6. You must be done with the test by now. I'll give you 30 seconds more to finish this. Very good morning to all of you who are talking to us via YouTube comments. Yes, please click on the link that is there below in the comment section and finish that test very quickly. It shouldn't take more than a minute, minute and a half to finish it. I'll give you 30 seconds more to finish this. Okay, we are almost there. Very quickly, if you can finish, then we can continue with our session. All right. In the meantime, those of you who are yet to join, those of you who would like your friends to join, please do share the YouTube link with them. Let them also take benefit of whatever is happening. Okay, very nice. Now let's take a look at the results. I can see the results on my side. Okay. I hope all of you are done taking the test. Okay. Sometimes technology is not your best friend, is it? Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and see what kind of Are you able to hear me, students? Fine. Okay. Right. Let's continue talking about the test you just took. Okay. Now, if you look at the test that you just took, you would have found your career interest profile. There is something called as your career interest profile that you will find. And you will see there are 6 various types of careers that are shown to you. Are we still there? Okay, great. So when you look at the results of this test that you have just taken, you will see 6 kinds of options that are given to you, right? 6 kind of results that you have got, right? Your scoring is based on the kind of careers that you're capable of taking. Now, these careers will not tell you directly, you will become an architect or you're better to be a teacher. No, it is telling you 6 different qualities that you have as students, right? If you look at the results of this test, I hope you all have gone through the 5 pages of that test. If you have, then you will find 6 different qualities that you're capable of. They are building, thinking, creating, helping, persuading, and organizing. Now, these are called as the 6 interest areas. Okay. What are the 6 interest areas? Building, thinking, creating, helping, persuading, and organizing. Okay. Let's see what each of these things mean. Okay. Let's start with building. What do we mean by building? By building, we mean that careers that are associated with starting something or careers that are associated with your ability to create something from scratch. These are typical careers that involve architecture or starting a business. These are careers that also involve, working outdoors, working with animals, so on and so forth, right? So this is the career option that involves building something or creating something new. Now let's look at the next option, which is thinking, right? Let's look at the next option, which is thinking. When it comes to thinking careers, what are the careers that utilize thinking, right? You know, there were questions that were asked about innovation, about working with scientific things, right? So your thinking careers are careers that are working in technology or teaching. These are careers associated with academics, science, so on and so forth, right? Now, this is also associated with medicine. If you're a thinking person, it could also be associated with medicine because you have to be really quick in understanding the patients and responding to them. You could also be a great nurse, right? So that would also be something that we can think of, all right? Right. So now let's look at the next option, which is your creating option. Now, these are creative people like me and you, right? The creating option here involves careers such as painting, being artists, poets, writers, novelists, so on and so forth, right? So these are new age careers. A lot of you are also seeing very special people in their career list, YouTubers. I have a 8-year-old, 9-year-old nephew who is very clear about his career choice. He says when he wants to grow up, he wants to be a YouTuber, right? 10 years ago, we couldn't have thought about a career like this, but today it is a definite career option. And to become a YouTuber, you need a lot of skills that are associated with presentation, communication, using media in the right format, so on and so forth. And these are the creator type of people. Now let's move on to the next career choice, which is helpers, right? Helpers, of course, are people who work in the service sector. These are people who are, nurses or caregivers, or people who are working in halfway homes and old age homes, so on and so forth, right? So the helping careers involve nursing and caregiving options in careers, okay? So this is a career option that we are not going to think too much about today, because options for this are plenty, and people have a lot of information about this, okay? Then comes a very important career that is required in today's present day and time. That is the skill of persuasion or persuading. What do you mean by persuading? Persuading means convincing someone, okay? And when I say convincing someone, what do we mean? What kind of careers are there? You can see again, teachers, counselors, HR managers, right? These are all people who convince, right? And then we have also something called as PR, that is public relations. These are your people who are managing people's public image. They are taking care of how celebrities and politicians are presented to the public. They write speeches for them. They help them maintain a particular image during the public appearances, so on and so forth. And it's a very high paying job, right? And then finally, the last skill or the last emotion or the last ability that is there for you as per the test that you have just taken is the skill to organize. Okay, what do we mean by the skill to organize? Right, these are typically your commerce and management careers. Okay, these careers include working in an organization, being in the front office, taking care of things, starting a business, okay, or running a logistics firm, okay, so on and so forth. So a lot of these careers involve your ability to organize and work in a structured environment. Okay, so I hope you all have been able to get an idea of why we did this test. We did this test primarily because we want to understand how you are equipped, or what kind of thinking you have in order to start your career, kickstart your career, go forward in your career. Okay. Now, let us not delay this any further. Let us talk about the, let us also talk about the kind of other kind of work that is involved, right? I will take you straight into why humanities careers are there, or what kind of people are there, right? So like I told you, there are 6 different kind of people according to this test. People who are doers are realistic, right? They are people who are who like hands-on experience, people who do things hands-on. Then are the investigative people, the thinkers, people who create things that are new. Scientific temperament is very high. And then are people who are artists, people like those celebrities that I showed you in the first slide, remember? These are artistic people. They are people who create new things, music, dance, art, painting, sculptures, news items. Even journalists are artistic thinkers or artistic people. They create news. They create ways to present news, all right? And then are the social workers. This is social work, or what we call as BSW, MSW degrees, right? These are social workers who are capable of assisting people to get better, right? These are helpers. These are people who allow others to feel better or assist them in whatever way that they are capable of assisting them. And then comes the enterprising people, the persuading people, the convincing people. These are your businesses. These are people who are able to market things. These are your marketing managers, your real estate owners. These are people who are your retail shop employees. And careers in these places are going. Lots of people are offering Lots of options for careers for people who are capable of persuading others. And then finally is the conventional careers, the organizers, people who are very organized. They're able to be in a salaried employment in a corporate world. They're able to follow management decisions. They're able to do things in an organized manner. I would next step ask you to pay attention to this part. Okay, this is the most awaited part for me, right? This is a very important part for me because I am somebody who believes in the humanities. I am somebody who thinks that the humanities is the future, that the more number of people are going to opt for humanities, the more peace and more rationality is going to be there in the world, right? We see so many things going wrong around us. And I think only a proper study of various subjects of the humanities is going to lead us to some place which is positive, some place that is capable of taking care of the world in a better manner. Okay, so shall we start with what is humanities? Now, humanities is a very large, very vast ocean. Okay, it's an ocean of possibilities. So we don't have the time to delve on the entire gamut of things that are available in humanities. So I'm going to focus today on 4 subjects, right? 4 subjects. What are these 4 subjects? These 4 subjects are the most commonly associated with subjects for the humanities. And a lot of people have very successful careers using these 4 subjects in their degree or when choosing these 4 subjects for their degree, right? I will be talking to you about careers that are available in each of these subjects and how you will work towards these careers in your future, right? So what are these 4 subjects we're going to talk about today? We're going to be talking about journalism. We're going to be talking about English literature, which is my subject, something that I really, really like and enjoy doing. We're going to also talk about psychology, which is becoming a very important subject in today's world, considering the amount of help that is required outside for people with their mental health. And finally, we are also going to talk about political science. Now, why are we going to talk about political science as a subject? Is political science even a subject? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't understand. I wish that a lot of people who are sitting in our parliament are people who know political science or are graduates of political science, because if they are or if they were, they would know how to run the country better. They would know how to be better towards the people and give them more, better impetus, give them better opportunities, right? So these are the 4 subjects I'm going to talk about today. Let's begin with understanding what is humanities. What do we mean by humanities? Okay. What do we mean by humanities? Humanities are those subjects that focus on the art of human thought and culture, right? The word human, of course, refers to people, that is you, me, and a lot more others like us. Humanities is a collective term that talks about subjects under the category of arts, right? What do we mean by arts? Like how we have science and commerce, we have arts. I come from a family which is very conservative, which was very conservative in the past, and they give a lot of importance to studies. So where I come from, science is considered as first group, commerce is considered as second group, and arts is considered as third group. Like it is the least in the importance pyramid, okay? Like least, bottommost in the pyramid. People wouldn't give it a lot of value at all because they somehow thought that arts was only given to or only taken by students who are dull in studies. They don't know how to study. That is why they are taking up arts. Now, this is a very wrong notion. It is a very wrong idea, right? You know how opinionated and how smart you have to be if you have to achieve something in the arts field, right? Greatest of people in our country have been students of arts, right? I would want to remind you that it takes arts for a lawyer to fight in a court of law. It takes art subject for a sociologist, for a social worker to help people who are in trouble. It takes the study of arts for politicians to make the right kind of policies. It takes arts for people to understand development, understand progress, understand economics, understand the way that the world works. It takes arts for people to have a great mental makeup or mental outlook, to have sufficient mental health so that processes around them don't fall flat. It takes arts, it takes good study of arts for good journalists to come up and give us the news around the world and help us form opinions about what matters to us. All right. If we don't have these people doing these things, we will not be able to analyze the world and understand the world as it is supposed to be understood. We will have a very narrow outlook of the world. Okay, right. So it is very important for us to understand that these subjects play a major role in assisting our nation to move forward, right? And as young citizens who are waiting to take on the world, I know some of you have said you want to be UPSC students, you want to become IAS and IFS officers, you want to serve the nation, you want to be bureaucrats, and for all this you need arts. Okay, unless you take up subjects in arts, you will not be able to identify the key elements in society that will take us towards progress. Okay, now let's take a look at NEP. What do we mean by NEP? NEP is National Education Policy, which was drafted in 2019 and came into focus, came into application, or it was executed in 2020. Now, we all know that 2020 was the year that the pandemic struck us, and the entire opinion of the world towards everything changed, isn't it? But NEP gave the scope for students to choose subjects that they like and they want to focus on. It introduced a new method of education, which will allow students to be the boss of what they choose. Okay. Earlier in Karnataka, at least, when you choose syllabus in Karnataka, when you choose subjects in Karnataka, affiliated proper universities that have the kind of affiliation, for example, St. Paul's College is affiliated to Bangalore University, and we offer NEP courses right from the time that it was implemented in Karnataka, right? So we offer different combinations of subjects, and we offer something called as the 2 major system. Earlier in Karnataka, we used to have the 3 major system, right? We used to have JP English or PS English or PS Eco and subjects like this, right? So we used to have a BA degree with 3 combinations, 3 subject combinations, which means at the end of 3 years, you could take up any of the 3 subjects and do a master's program in. But NEP helped us narrow down the scope and allowed us to take a 2 major system. That is, you will major in 2 subjects. What are these 2 subjects? What is the method in which you will graduate with these 2 subjects? The method in which you will graduate in these 2 subjects is this, right? The NEP allows you to choose 2 major systems. That is, when you enter into a BA degree, you will choose BA, Bachelor of Arts, Journalism or English Literature, Journalism and Psychology, or English Literature and Psychology, or Psychology and Political Science. You have the option to choose 2 subjects at a time. This will be your major subject or your core subject, as NEP calls it, right? National Education Policy calls discipline-specific core subject or discipline-specific core paper, DSC. So your DSC 1 may be journalism, DSC 2 may be English literature, or your DSC 1 could be English literature, DSC 2 could be psychology, DSC 1 could be political science, DSC 2 could be journalism, right? So you have various options between these 4-5 subjects that you take up. Now let's take the example of these 4 subjects. Say I'm a student who has just passed my 12th standard, my second PUC. I've got very good grades and I want to become a writer. This is my aim. This is my wish. Okay. So let's take a quick work here. I want you to go on to this website called as Mentimeter. Let me just put it down in the chat window here. It is called as Mentimeter. Okay. Give me a second. I will share the code with you. I would like you to go on to this website and enter the response to the question that is asked in that particular site. Okay. Okay. Very quickly. We will enter this code. Are you all able to see the screen yet? Okay. Just give me a minute. You will be able to see the screen in just a moment. Okay, here we go. I want you to use this code 71782245. Okay. Okay. I hope you'll be able to see the screen now. Okay, there we go. Okay. I want you to go into this website called Mentimeter. Are you all able to see the screen, students? Okay. I want you to enter into Mentimeter and I want you to enter that code that is there on the top of the screen. Can you do that for me, please? Okay. Are you all able to see the screen? In the screen, I'm putting the code again here on the chat. I mean, on the comment section. Okay. Working in an organization, teaching, very nice. Okay, we are getting more and more answers. That looks nice. Okay, IAS officer, professor, Government job. Very nice. Okay. Okay. What else? IAS officers, journalist, writer. Many people want to be teachers. Very good. Okay. If you look at the screen, you will see all the responses we are getting. Okay. There are people who would like to take up different professions. There are 10 different answers that have come in. Let us see if there are more people talking. Somebody wants to be. Okay. Somebody wants to be a psychologist, a psychiatrist. I will also take some classes in spelling so that it's easier for us to get the right spellings of these things. Very nice. We want to be writers. Okay. We want to be journalists, reporters. That's very nice. You want to work in an organization. Fashion designer. Very nice. Event manager. Very good. Somebody wants to be an MC, writer, software job. Excellent. Makeup artist. Very good. Content creator. Okay, very nice. HR, PR person. Somebody wants to be a YouTuber. Very good. Very nice. Working in an organization. Manager, journalist. Someone wants to be in banking. Excellent. Very nice. Okay. Someone wants to be a soldier. Very good. Software job. Fashion designer. Competitive exam. Bank exams. Great. Okay. Thank you so much for all your responses. Okay. This is wonderful to be getting so many answers from you all. So many people wanting to do so many things. Someone wants to do MCOM. Someone is an entrepreneur, a psychiatrist, a manager. Very nice. Okay. Now, what we will do is we will stop this for a couple of seconds and we will dwell on the things that you have shared with me. Okay. Let's look at the careers that you have shown here. Somebody wants to be a journalist, an entrepreneur, a teacher, an organization, psychiatrist. All these jobs are jobs that have their basis in a very important subject called as the arts or the humanities, right? Except, of course, for chartered accountants and accountancy, you will have to take up commerce subjects. We will talk about commerce subjects and professions related to that in another session very soon. But for today, we will talk about these subjects. All these subjects that you have shared with us are subjects that require you to have a certain qualification or a certain degree in the fields that I'm going to talk about today. So if you take up NEP and you take up a 2 major system, how does this work? You will have to study 2 papers of each of these 2 main subjects. For example, if you come to St. Paul's College and say you want a BA degree in journalism and English literature. So you will find Saranya ma'am coming here and asking you questions about literature and journalism. There will be another teacher who comes and talks to you about the importance of journalism, and we will recruit you. Say you get a seat in St. Paul's College. The first 3 years that you spend in St. Paul's College, you will be studying journalism and English literature. You will study 2 papers in journalism, 1 theory paper, 1 practical paper. In English literature, you will study British literature and Indian writing in English in the first year, gender studies and linguistics in the second year, British literature and literatures from non-European world in the third year. So this kind of a setup will be there, where 3 years you will study 2 papers. You will basically study 2 papers per semester, which means you will do 6 plus 6, 12 papers on your core subjects. in the 3 years that you spend in an undergraduate program, a UG course in BA. Okay. So a UG course in BA essentially covers 12 papers where you will study about all the theories and all the practical aspects of your subject in those 3 years. Let us come to an option where you're choosing, say you're choosing psychology as one of your subjects along with journalism, or along with literature, you're choosing psychology as one of your subjects. In psychology, you will study about different things. You will study an introduction to psychology. You will understand major theories in psychology. You will talk about developmental psychology, abnormal psychology, industrial psychology. You will study about organizational behavior. You will basically understand the human mind in all its glory. Okay. Psychology also has one practical paper, one theory paper every year, every semester. So you will study 6 theory papers and you will do 6 separate practical sessions in psychology. Coming to political science. Political science, you will study various aspects of politics, including major theories of politics. You will study about democracy. You will study about, political systems. You will study basically everything that you have studied in civics. The larger perspective of it will be given to you in political science. Again, you will be doing 2 papers every semester for 3 years. And you will be able to complete 12 different papers in Indian polity, in world politics, major political theories, political theory and thought, so on and so forth, in the 3 years that you will be spending as a student here at St. Paul's. Now, after doing this, you have an option. NEP gives you the option to continue your 4th year honors program, 4th year honors program, where you will get a master's degree. You will get an MA directly after the end of your 4th year if you continue 4 years in the same place for the same subject. In the 4th year, you get to choose your major subject. You will be able to decide whether you want to major in journalism or in English literature or in psychology or in political science. Right? You will choose these subjects, and then in the final year, you will increase your engagement with the subject. And in the 4th year, if you continue, you will get a master's in any one of these subjects. Now, what do I mean by master's? You know how there's a BA, there is an MA, right? So if you finish 4 years in the same place, same course, you will have the opportunity to earn a master's degree in 4 years instead of the traditional 5 years that will take for you to earn a master's degree. I hope I'm clear about this. Okay. Now let us look at some of the careers in these particular subjects. Okay. You are different types of learners. Okay. Before I go ahead in the careers, I want to tell you a small story. This is a story that I heard from my grandfather when I was very young. My maternal grandfather, a great man, very knowledgeable. So I had to go speak at a conference and I asked him, what is it that I can talk about? So this very important thing he told me about gaining knowledge. Now you all have gained some knowledge in your PUC, in your school, and you want to apply this knowledge in your degree. But without having a direction of where you're going and how you're going, it is impossible for you to gain that knowledge. So I will tell you a small story. We have about 10 minutes left for this session. I'll tell you a small story. I will introduce you to the various careers that you can take up after you take up a BA in any of the subjects that I spoke to you about: journalism, psychology, political science, and English literature. Any of these subjects, English literature is called as optional English in Karnataka. So if you're taking up any of these subjects, what are the careers? I will tell you that. But before that, a small story, which I really, really like. This is a story about the salt ant and the sugar ant. Okay. Sugar ant and salt ant were very close friends. Why do we call them sugar ant and salt ant? Because the sugar ant would eat only sugar and the salt ant will eat only salt. So one day, sugar ant and salt ant are standing in front of a tea stall and they're talking, and the sugar ant says, "What salt you eat, men? Sugar is so tasty. You will not know the taste of the world until you taste sugar." Salt ant says, you sugar people are so crazy. You all have diabetes all your life. But look at us salt people. Our blood is always flowing. Our pressure is always great. You should eat salt. It is the greatest thing to do. Right? So sugar ant and salt ant are having this real tough competition and they are fighting. What happens finally? Sugar ant and salt ant come to a conclusion. Sugar ant says, "Okay, salt ant, you come to my house today for lunch. I will serve you sugar. You eat and then tell me in life you will not touch salt." Then salt says, "You come to my house, sugar ant. I will serve you salt. Once you taste salt, you will not touch sugar in your life. So both the friends agree that they are going to go to each other's house for a treat, for a lunch and for a dinner. Now in the afternoon, the salt ant goes to the sugar ant's house. But salt ant is very nervous, says, what if I don't like sugar? I will be hungry. So it opens its mouth and stores some salt under its tongue and goes to the sugar ant's house. Sugar ant serves its sugar. The salt ant eats the sugar and it tastes so horrible with the salt. It says, sugar tastes so bad, he says, and goes back to his house. In the night, sugar ant comes to salt ant's house. Same story. It is worried that it will not like salt, so it stores some sugar in the bottom of its tongue and goes to the salt ant's house. It goes and tastes the salt and says, oh, salt tastes so bad. It is so horrible. What a bad taste. And it goes back to its house. Now, what the sugar ant and the salt ant don't realize is that if you unlearn what you already learned, if you don't unlearn what you already have learned and are open for new experiences, you will never have the right kind of experience in your life. Unless you're able to experience arts without all the prejudices you have in your mind, right? Without all the thoughts you have in your mind, you will never be able to cherish the beauty that is arts, the beauty that is the humanities. Okay. We all have for a long time decided and discussed and thought and come to a conclusion that arts is not going to help us. But after this presentation, keep an open mind and choose a career path, right? Choose a career path that is worthwhile. Choose a career path that is going to take you to greater heights, okay? So if you're choosing journalism, psychology, or English or political science, right, you will be able to achieve great heights in a lot of these careers that I'm going to showcase today in front of you, right? What are these careers? Who are these people who have achieved? Now, you remember the great things that I showed you in the first slide, these wonderful celebrities who are there and who are, achieving great things in their life. What are the things that these people did, right? Bachelor of Arts. Now, Bachelor of Arts is a career stream that opens up careers such as journalists, news anchor, voiceover artist, historian, anthropologist. Who's an anthropologist? An anthropologist, somebody who studies the evolution of human beings, somebody who's able to look at the evolution of human beings from a different perspective. Okay, so anthropologist is different from an archaeologist. Okay, don't get confused. You can be an economist, you can be an IAS, IPS officer, you can be teachers, you can be advertising professionals, you can be artists, psychologists, archaeologists, sociologists. You can get positions in the United Nations. You can be an educated politician and make a difference in policies that are there across the world. And you can really make a difference to the world with your understanding of arts. Okay, so I would like you to know that arts as a subject is very useful because it will lead you to careers like this. Now, you may ask me a question, right? How am I able to achieve all this, right? Any questions you have related to these careers, anything that you have related to asking about each of these courses, you're free to contact us. You're free to write to us on our YouTube channel. You're free to email us, so on and so forth. And you will be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve through that. Okay. Now, I have a quick request to you. We are going to pin up a feedback form, a Google form onto the chat window. I request our technical team to please post the feedback form link on the chat section for people to access. Those of you who are watching, you will get a certificate for watching the program, for being a part of this program from us. All you have to do is just fill up this Google form with your details and the certificate will reach you in 2 days' time. By Monday, you will get your certificate, okay, for having attended this career guidance program, okay? So again, I will remind you that these are various programs. So these are various careers that you can choose as people who are people of arts. You can become teachers, IAS, IPS officers, right? Many colleges today, for example, St. Paul's College itself, we have an integrated program that will train you for civil services, that will train you to become IAS, IPS officers, take up those exams, right? We also have training in journalism. We have a full-fledged studio, right? which will train you to take up various careers in journalism, right? We have a full-fledged recording studio, which will help you get training in, speaking, in editing, in all media-related activities. Newspapers are created by our students every week, right? We bring out newsletters, newspapers, and journals throughout the year. So you will learn how to edit, you will learn how to write, you learn what is advertising, so on and so forth. We have full-fledged psychology labs. Many colleges, including St. Paul's, have full-fledged psychology labs where you can practice doing psychometric tests, where you can understand the practical applications of psychology. Lot of options for a lot of colleges now are also opened up for options related to writing or English and language. And you know how important English as a language is in today's world. So we train you, including at St. Paul's College. There's a lot of training given in theater, a lot of training given in writing, a lot of training given in advertisement writing, a lot of training given in speech writing, right? So a lot of training given with aspects to language as well. And of course, we have political science as a subject. You will get to visit the Vidhan Saudha, have interactions with real life political figures. You will be able to also associate with people in and out the political spectrum. So I hope today's session was useful for all of you. Please do fill in the feedback form that is posted in the comment section. I once again request the technical team to kindly post the feedback link. Okay, so yes, so I hope that this session has been useful for all of you, and that you will be able to go through great heights by choosing arts as a subject, and ensure that you achieve great success in life. Okay, so here's wishing all of you all the best. A gentle reminder to all of you that success always lies in the creative process. Success is always a byproduct of creativity. Success is always there for those of them who mean to achieve great things in life. Okay, so all the best to all of you. I hope that your life is beautiful and that you choose humanities careers, and these careers hold you in good stead. Some of you may have some questions to ask. So if you have any questions, we will be available on the live channel for a few more minutes. So you can ask these questions and we'll be more than happy to answer these questions for you. Thank you so much for your kind attention, for your time, for having paid so much of attention to what we were saying, and having made this process a mutually beneficial and enjoyable one. We hope that this session is something that makes a difference in your lives, and that you're able to make a career choice based on whatever we have shared today. Like I said, we'll be more than happy to share any insights, any questions you may have. You can contact the St. Paul's media team. You can contact us at any point in time, and we will be more than happy to answer these questions. These are our contact details. You can get in touch with us via phone. You can contact us on various social media platforms. You can also contact us via email. If you would like to speak to me personally for a counseling session, I'll be more than happy to assist you. I will be available on campus Monday to Saturday, right? Afternoons are a great time to get in touch, and we will be able to take this forward. Thank you so much once again for your time. I also extend a warm word of thanks to my technical team, Mr. Paulos and Mr. Ricky, who've been holding fort for us and helping us make this live event a grand success. I hope that all of you do very well in your careers, and that life offers the best of blessings to you. So be an art student, be a creative student, join the humanities, and save the world. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.